For nearly 3 decades, Nakumatt was a household name in Kenya. It was more than just a supermarket. It was a symbol of progress, modernity, and convenience. Yet, by 2019, it was gone.
Nakumatt received yet another blow after its Junction Mall branch was closed following court orders.
Billions of shillings in debt, suppliers ruined, and employees jobless. How could a business so large, so dominant, collapse so quickly? In this short documentary, we take a dive into the rise and fall of Nakumatt, not just as a story, but as a business case study. A cautionary tale for entrepreneurs, policymakers, and consumers alike. In the 1980s, most Kenyans shopped in kiosks, dukas, or open markets. Uchumi Supermarkets was the only major chain, but it was slow, limited, and government-linked. There was room for a bold new player. Nakumatt started as Nakuru Mattresses, a family furniture store. But in 1992, Atul Shah opened Nakumatt Mega in Nairobi, one of Kenya's first 24-hour supermarkets. This was revolutionary. Shopping became an experience. Families made weekend trips. Nairobians grabbed late-night groceries after nights out. Nakumatt sold not just food, but electronics, clothes, and furniture. A true one-stop shop. 3 strategies powered Nakumatt's growth: aggressive expansion, modern branding, and customer loyalty. The Nakumatt Smart Card made shoppers feel invested, collecting points with every purchase. For the growing middle class, Nakumatt wasn't just convenient, it was aspirational. By the 2000s, Nakumatt was Kenya's retail king.
It is not surprising that the supermarket chain is referred to in some circles as the Walmart of East Africa, a reference to the highly successful US supermarket chain Walmart. Nakumatt has ambitious plans to become not just the Walmart of East Africa, but rather the Walmart of the African continent, with plans at an advanced stage to open up stores in several African countries in the next few years.
It anchored malls across the country and expanded to Uganda, Rwanda, and Tanzania. At its peak, it had more than 60 branches, over 6,000 employees, and an estimated 35% of Kenya's supermarket market share. For landlords, a Nakumatt branch guaranteed traffic. For suppliers, being on Nakumatt shelves meant national exposure. For customers, it was the future of shopping. But Nakumatt's business model had hidden weaknesses.
Nakumatt Supermarkets has started the year with Nanyuki Mall evicting the retailer from the premises due to unpaid rent. This leaves the staff uncertain of whether they shall ever be paid their 6 months' worth of outstanding salaries.
Well, the goods in the lowly stocked store were thrown out onto the parking lot of the mall as the landlord is said to be paving way for a new supermarket. Well, this made the already bad morning worse as looters took advantage of the situation, necessitating police officers to shoot in the air to disperse them.
The outlet had about 42 staff at the time of closure, while over 50 others had resigned in the course of the year due to salary delays and non-payment. Nakumatt closed its Nanyuki shop in November with a notice at the store's entrance indicating that the closure was temporary.
Expansion was debt-driven. Each new store meant massive rent and setup costs, funded by bank loans and delayed supplier payments. Second, governance was weak. As a family-run business, Nakumatt published no audited accounts. Decisions were centralized with little oversight. Third, cash flow problems grew. Suppliers went unpaid for months, sometimes years, but tolerated it because Nakumatt was too big to lose. On the outside, the shelves were still full, but behind the scenes, Nakumatt was running on credit and confidence. The push into East Africa looked bold, but strained finances further. In Tanzania, Nakumatt faced stiff competition. In Uganda, customers were lukewarm. In Rwanda, the market was too small. Instead of strengthening the core business in Kenya, regional stores became cash drains. Meanwhile, rivals were catching up. Naivas targeted the mass market with competitive prices. Quickmart leaned on customer service. And in 2016, Carrefour entered Kenya with global supply chain expertise. Carrefour's stocked shelves and fresh produce stood in stark contrast to Nakumatt's growing shortages. Customers began to migrate. The empire's biggest strength, scale, had turned into a liability. By 2016, the collapse was visible. Shelves sat half empty. Employees missed salaries. Suppliers withdrew. By 2017, Nakumatt owed more than 30 billion shillings. Courts placed it under administration, but rescue attempts failed. Branches shut down one by one. By 2019, the once mighty Nakumatt was gone. Nakumatt's downfall wasn't just numbers. More than 6,500 employees lost jobs. Suppliers, many small businesses, collapsed from unpaid debts. Customers who saved smart card points lost them overnight. For many Kenyans, the fall felt personal. Nakumatt had been part of everyday life. Nakumatt's story is a lesson in business ambition. Expansion without financial discipline is dangerous. Transparency and governance matter, and no company is too big to fail. Its collapse reshaped Kenya's retail sector. Naivas rose to dominance. Carrefour took over key spaces. Quickmart expanded aggressively. Tuskys tried to compete, but soon faced its own collapse. For Kenyans, Nakumatt remains a reminder. Behind every shiny brand are numbers that must add up. And in business, confidence lasts only as long as the shelves stay full. From a small mattress shop in Nakuru to East Africa's retail giant to complete collapse, Nakumatt's rise and fall is one of Kenya's most important business lessons. What do you think was the biggest reason for Nakumatt's failure? And which story should we cover next? Uchumi, Tuskys, or the rise of Naivas? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into Kenya's untold business stories.